Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today is going to be part 3 of Road to Rank 1, and once again, I am way higher than I was last time, because once again, I've done a bit of grinding off camera. Last night I got up to 2892, which was my peak. I went to bed because I had casting in the morning, and then in the morning, I lost, I think, 5 out of my first 6 games, something like that. I had a rough go of things, but things have been on the turnaround since then, and I'm now back to my current peak of 2936. I just won against a Jaguar that went first, pulled a double beef, signal on 3, feigned on 6. So if I can beat that, I can beat friggin' anything at this point. So, yeah, I'm just going to play quite a bit, try to get rank 1, and I will show you the best of the games, so strap in.
What a performance there by J-King.
J-King, full plot armor.
J-King is pushing himself into the ranks of the legend. J-King is our world champion! J-King 7! What? The back-to-back Kards world champion!
And first game is into Noen. Okay, so Noen is on this Soviet deck, the Soviet US ramp. I was just looking at my stats earlier. This is like not bad to keep, to be completely honest with you. I think I'd rather have early cast board. I was looking at my stats earlier, and against ramp decks this season, like ramp decks of all nations, I am 32-1, and the only loss was to the one time I played Noen's Soviet US ramp. Now, granted, he did high roll me incredibly hard, but it's Noen on Soviet US ramp, so you kind of have to expect that. He never misses War Machine. Well, actually, in the last game I played against him, he didn't have War Machine on 2. Well, he had it in hand on 2, but he played Yak on 2, so on 3 he could do Sickle War Machine, which was actually better than just War Machine. That's actually pretty weak from him. And that is the cast draw. That is the ever-important cast draw. We're just going to take this out, because there's a decent chance he plays Yak here. He runs Yak 9s, and in which case I'm just going to Parasy into it, probably. Oh, there's the Yak 9. Type 94 here would be a blessed draw. It's not terrible. Gonna take out the Yak 9. Just double checking his list. He runs a lot more card draw than before. He runs 2 Confusions. Runs a bit more healing than before. So this is a much more fearsome deck than the one he has in tournaments. Bit of a weird hand. Gonna keep the Albacore, obviously. So just gonna try to put some damage in. So Parade comes down, and I'm just going to stick a whole bunch of bombers. I didn't need to go for the surprise attack right away, to be completely honest. The reason I did it is I wasn't looking to see if that Parade was the KV is what he paraded into, and if he just like slams down a second KV, things can kind of get out of control pretty fast, especially with 2 convoys in hand. Like if he just has like a good turn. Here he's really looking for 39th. He has Stars and Stripes in the deck. It was the KV he paraded into. I could just go all HQ. I could draw. I think I'm just going to go all in on the HQ. I'm trying to think if there's a reason I should air sup the KV. I can see some reasons to airsup the KV. I can also see some pretty good reasons not to. He runs Chaikas in his list. Although, if he had Chaika, he would have played it. If he had Yak 9, he would have played it. So, him playing KV back-to-back, especially the second KV, shows he has no fighters in hand. Now, obviously, he's going to need a bit... he's going to need some luck, most likely, to get out of this situation. But I'm thinking the most reasonable thing is he has Hammer on the Paracy, push up KV, kill Albacore. And then, obviously, I just have lethal with Empire Strikes, but if he somehow doesn't... if I somehow don't have lethal with Empire Strikes, that way Empire Strikes still kills the KV. I guess if he has Hammer, like, he has top deck Chaika and then all of that, maybe I should have kept the Airsup, because then I have lethal with Empire Strikes, Airsup, Eshak, go face. No one's thinking. 20 seconds. 125th. We can do it. It heals him up to 9. And that is still dead to Empire Strikes, I believe. Yep. And that is just going to be game. Yeah, I'm curious to, how the 125ths are working out for him. 29.48 plus 12. Now that is not something you see very often. So yeah, that's a huge help right off the bat. So let's get into the next game. All right, Germany. A lot of discard. Some, I'd say, like, right now the decks in terms of what I've seen the most often is Gerbrit discard, Ger Italy control, Ger US Heinz, Gerbrit combined arms. I'm still going to keep the air superiority. He kept 4 cards. So keeping 4 cards going second as Germany means he's probably not control, unless he has just the most cracked hand ever. Passes on 1 though, which makes me think that there's a good chance that it is controlled with Careless Talk up. I'm just gonna float, because even if it's not Careless Talk, it might just be Albacore, and that could be potentially, or a Rado, and that could be potentially annoying. We can take this nice and slow. I would really like it if he just played something. There it is, Gerbrit discard. I kind of want to play it Albacore. I mean, okay, so the on-curve play would be Root Out. But I'm thinking if he instead does Supply Shortage, Supply Shortage, like hold up Careless Talk, something like that. I'd much rather this, and honestly, from these Gerbrit decks, I have not seen, yeah, I've seen it way more Supply Shortage. So there's the Supply Shortage. Let's see if it is Careless Talk. I mean, with double Lend-Lease in hand, I'm feeling pretty good even if it is. No Careless Talk. Makes me think he probably has quite a few Supply Shortages. Case Yellow. Yeah. That's pretty annoying. Just gonna pass. Make him think that I have Ultra. Probably messes up his curve. That deck's quite a few just expensive orders. Probably forces like a fortification or something. I mean, Research is a bit of a cheap one. This does mean we overdraw a card, but it's Doubting System? Did that guy keep Doubting System in his opening hand? This guy's insane. I could Swordfish double air sup that. Doesn't feel great. I mean, the alternative is he keeps that on the board, which doesn't feel great. I mean, I feel like if he Wolfpacks, he Wolfpack before playing Blackwatch in that situation, right? How do you have enough slots in Britain Ally to run Doubting System? These people are insane. Hornise off the Africa core. Yeah. I think we play the Gladiator to have a unit to Piracy. What's he gonna draw? 4. I mean, that's probably root out. Maybe Seaforth. Okay, Wrath Lightning. Pretty unfortunate hand. I think we Convoy for good cards. I mean, we can HMS clear this. I think I'm probably fine. Oh, it could be from the deep up. Yeah, it's from the deep up. So this, I mean, can't really say it worked out. That's the case yellow. Please don't discard Ultra. That's the best card in my hand, 1 in 6, by a very, very large amount. Double case yellow. I mean, So I think by this point we just sort of go in and bank on him not being able to kill this. Maybe back-to-back convoy draws. I mean, we know he has a 4-cost unit in hand. Hopefully it's not Seaforth, because Rudout's not very effective against this. 989, not much. Annihilation. Okay, there's the convoy draw. We can return that to hand. I mean, if this guy has Schwalbe, he has Schwalbe. If he doesn't have Schwalbe, he potentially GG'd a bit too early. Or Ratto. Where were these cards in his hand? Like, he kept 4 cards in his hand. And none of them were a Ratto or Flampants or a Sudden Strike. Yegged. I feel like you didn't want to yegg this back to my hand. Oh, the one card is root out. So if I go for the... I mean, it loses to root out, but I also just need that card to be Seaforth. Like, I can't win otherwise. Comet Panther A. If he didn't have that fort, if he didn't have that doubting system. If he didn't discard Ultra. Yeah, this game's over. It is solved. And yeah, I mean, we can just surrender. MI5. Absolute insane people on ladder today. Oh, how much did that cost us? Yep, 21 points for that. That is how it be. So let's get to the next game. Fast Q. This person's name looks familiar. Yes, they're decently high up. They're playing a weird US-German front line last time I played them. So I think it's reasonable to expect them to be still on that. Oh, I kind of want to keep like all of these cards, but none of them are units. Well, not all. I want to keep Monty Empire Air Superiority, but at the same time, none of them are units. Well, now they're all units. If I knew this is what I was going to get back, I would have kept probably the Empire Strikes. This guy runs Awoken Giant, Battery, and Sudden Strikes. Oh, that's great. Do not mind if I do. So that's great for a couple different reasons. One, it lets me clog the combat engineers, which now becomes a target. Of course, the Awoken Giant, as previously mentioned. Aichi kind of fits my curve better here, to be completely honest. How scary is this combat engineers? I guess we will see. Does this guy keep Awoken Giant against air? 5th Rangers. Oh, well, that's a good draw. He can still draw with Sherman if he wants. Could even Naval Supply run him if he moves up Sherman's. Early Stars. I'm quite happy seeing that come out, to be completely honest. It could go for... Man, everything in my hand is really, really good. And at the same time, just a little awkward. I mean, just with the strength of my hand at responding to things he could play, I think I'm just going to go for the shelling. Because normally shelling lets you kind of come back against your opponent being ahead on board. Now, I could Sexton that. There's a couple of very big punishes. Seeing the battery gone is really good. Like, if he has 99th plus a Blitz tank, Hellcat just trades it immediately, and I'm pretty fine with that. Then he gets the combat down, so I can't really stop a Sherman currently. I think that's probably fine, though. Just gonna Lend-Lease. Draw now. Empire pickup is pretty good. Well, that's less good. I mean, we're just going for an Empire Strikes. I don't want to die to Blitzkrieg. yes, he can handle this pretty easily, but there isn't really an alternative that is not just risks immediate loss to Blitzkrieg. Strat bombing. I think I might just do Empire Spitfire, to be completely honest. I can Raft to send that back. For a very, very brief second, I thought I just like miscounted. This was at 2 health or something. Yeah, he half tracks. I can just do Raft Spitfire. Now he kind of has to pick one. I don't feel great about this play because he could, one, just... Well, I guess if he pushes an 8-8 5th rangers, he can't also half-track, but if he could just double... please no, yeah, I was saying please no air defense. Draw last is mistake. Oh my goodness, if the Spitfire sticks, this game is over. Yeah, I was originally going to go for the cast buffs, which is why I didn't draw initially, but then I realized, well, like, stars are gone, strats gone, and he still has 2 half-tracks in the deck. So this is 6 to attack with. Which means I can do this, and it's lethal through countermeasures. And that is game. Hopefully this is still like a +7. Something like that. Only a +5. I think this person actually lost points since I last played them then. Well, +5 is +5. Let's get to the next game. Aurora on Japan. I do not believe I have played against Aurora. No, I have not. Going second. I don't think I can afford to keep shelling without keeping anything else, and I definitely can't afford to keep Sonya. Passes on 1. I mean, most resistances will Vive, and most Jaguars will obviously play a unit on 1. But also, Air would like to play a unit too, so would like self-discard on 2. Even Tony's played War Machine, so this person probably just has a bad hand no matter what deck they're playing. I think the most likely is some sort of order-based control, though, so I'm not going to overcommit to the board. Legions. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Legions does not have a lot to play. Just gonna remove one of these. Legions is a bit of a weird deck to play against because what they have drastically depends on the player you're playing against, to a decent extent. I mean, I'm just gonna Empire Strikes. That Audacity is a really powerful card, and I mean, I'd love to save Empire Strikes for a potential bigger tempo swing later down the line, but I mean, that would involve losing my bombers to the Aichi, so might as well cash out on it now. Hopefully I can pick up a close air support and just start pressuring face. The strength of Albacore with surprise attack means I don't really want to play Albacore here. I'm just gonna take out one of these guys. I don't want to overcommit into anything. Sometimes these people run like these. Well, there's the. I guess I can just HMS actually. Yeah, sometimes these people run like Imperial Order with like Tora, those kind of combos, and not interested in losing my bombers to one of those. So he has a Japan elite in hand. I feel like if it was Raiding Brigade, he probably would have played it already. Um, so I'm expecting it's going to be one of these big Japanese fighters. It might be Shiden, and he's saving it to attack when it comes down. Could also be Kika. Ki, but that's off the top. Isolation. I could RAF this key. This seems like it kind of just buys. This essentially just buys a turn because I have a very sneaking suspicion that he wants to Shiden here. Yep, there's the Shiden. Now, hopefully a cast draw here would be very useful. Naval supply run. It's not terrible. Like, it's not terrible because it lets us kill the Shiden. It's not great because I don't get to attack with the other two cards. I mean, this hand, Wellington, is probably the best card to discard. Like, as in the best for him to have be discarded. Overdraw Shelling and then lose a Swordfish. That's fine. This actually is quite good. Kitty Hawk to take out the guard so I can get the 5-1 into the key. So yeah, I think I saw the Kika was the Shiden was a top deck. I think that Kika's the thing off of Soulful Japan. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with him playing that, since it means his deck is just essentially going to be getting clogged with these crappy bombers, or not bombers, sorry, these crappy last rights, which he can like get through, but it is going to essentially just lose him credits on those turns anytime he draws those. Okay, so, well, we know it was Kika. That is really annoying and incredibly... I mean, I guess it's... No, because this is still an unknown card for him. It's incredibly risky for him to have done that. I mean, I think I just have to trade... This does not feel good, let me tell you. But I can't really afford to let that Kika connect face, and he's in a situation where deck doesn't have a ton of card draw. I'm certainly favored in the card draw department. That certainly makes me regret moving up the... Oh, and the last rights. Okay, well, his deck is 16 kamikazes, so we're going to be trying to end this game as quickly as possible. Monty is a huge pickup, because that stops the 2 draws off of these. Lend-Lease. Powerful. I mean, cast would have been slightly better. Here's the cast. And... yeah, I mean, I'm just going to drop him to 3. We're not going to kill the Karas, since the Karas on board is just one less board slot he has available, and the card draw it gives him, it's already in hand, and I'm looking to end the game next turn. Kawanishi, Kamikaze top deck, Kamikaze off the Kamikaze. Section 2, he did not string 5 consecutive Kamikazes, I think. I would have strongly considered uninstalling the game had I lost that one, I'm not gonna lie. But we got that, got a very stressful +4, and on to the next game. Alright, Japan. I'm fairly certain I have played against this person earlier today. Yes, Jagro quite high up, actually. They're on Jagro with bombing raids and Shinodos. So, a little less likely to find Feigned, which is good. I think just bombing rate and Jaggro is generally really bad. Well, it's really bad until you draw Feigned, and then it becomes really, really good. The Shinhodos is definitely a big help in this matchup for him. Man, I feel like every Jaguar I've been playing against has the turn 2 signal, or turn 1 signal even. I also feel like I'm finding all of these convoys. I've been considering taking out a convoy for research, just because I have been finding having 0 healing is something a lot of decks have been abusing against me. Okay, this is a lot of chip damage he's getting in, especially with the S like a Type 93. Type 93 off the top. I mean, he has one card in hand. Like, he has the surprise attacks, obviously, but he has one other card in hand. He's Type 93 single trade? I'm just incredibly confused by that play. I'm just going to Empire here, and take out these 2 units. Airsoft can clear up the Signal Regiment next turn. Maybe his thought process is he has a Whirlwind in hand, and he's going to Warble hit it, and then I can Airsoft the Warble. Kago. Well, honestly, the Kagoshima is pretty scary. I mean, with Albacore in hand, I feel like I don't have to be too afraid. Is the last card Feigned? But if it's Feigned, why do you play like that? I don't know. Shinhodo. It's a really good draw. I mean, I'm just going to Albacore. Well, that's quite interesting. It's a shame we can't do a bit any more with this turn. The Shinhodo is really good. Or sorry, the Shelling's really good at just stopping this Kago from connecting face. 35T draw. I mean, if he's going to double pin it, he's trolling, so that means it is going to be the single pin. Gonna get out the bombing raid. Or sorry, I was just thinking of if it positioning for bombing raid. Gonna get out the shelling. Now hopefully that card in hand is not feigned. He could be keeping the surprise attack to do surprise attack in case I held 3 feigned. Now it's gonna be desperate. That's really annoying. This suddenly becomes very scary. He doesn't pin. Now I'm kind of leaning towards not trading. I mean, we've seen the desperate. There's the errata that's going to find the feigned probably. He does run bombing raid, so it's possible that that found the bombing raid. I feel like you play bombing raid in that position if you find it, though. So I'm going to hold up the Ultra, because I feel like there's a pretty decent chance. So whether it's bombing raid or I guess I should have put Sexton on the other side. Um, I'm hoping he doesn't surprise attack first. Based on how he's playing, I'm assuming he is going to surprise attack first. It looks like that has been something he has had in mind all game. Um, Third 35T, but that's not going to have the op cost reduced. Hits the Sexton. Bombing raid into Ultra, but that's really big, because that means he doesn't have Feigned. And also he's trolling. So now we can get the Convoy out. Hopefully we can get some Casses. Okay. I think he has another one drop. Does he have second errata? Maybe? Raiding Brigade top deck? No feint, still. Probably gonna pin the Sexton here. But that's still fine. Fully out of cards now. I mean... So I can just do trade, Wellington face. That seems reasonable. And Swordfish or Type 94. I kind of prefer the Type 94. And, I mean, even if he finds the Feigned, he needs to find it this turn. Ooh, Akita's just really annoying. I mean, I probably just pin the Akita and go face, right? Is there a reason to get a bomber that can attack down on the board? If he does Shiden top deck, hit Sexton. Yeah, actually there's a pretty good reason to get a bomber down on the board. Maybe I got a Piracy down on the Sexton. So what's the way I lose this? Shinhodo, like, he needs to take out 2 units, and he can't because bombing raid and desperate measures are gone. So the only way he can is with Shiden draw. And he needs to kill Shinhodo. So actually, Piracy here, I think, should make this an... Oh, and he draws the Shiden! Yeah, sorry, it doesn't actually make it a instant win situation, but it does, it does kill the Shiden, so now I can drop him to 2 and play 2 bombers, and he can't really win from that position. And that play feels really good, being rewarded for that little Piracy, sack the Type 94 Piracy, because, like, I mean, it's a 1 in 21 that he draws Shiden there. I mean, that's the only way he won the game, though. He was completely dead without that. So yeah, that's a lesson for you right there. Play to your outs and play to your opponent's outs. What are their ways to come back in that game? That's going to be a +7. Pretty good. Alright, on to the next video. Or game. Alright. Against Jagra, again. And they're going first, again. And they have beef. So, off to a bit of a rough start. I mean, we've certainly won games from this position many a time before. I think this guy might be actually really high up. This guy might be top 10. I mean, could be misreading their name. So they hit with the beef. It's just a really weird play to me. Gonna go for cast, take out bike, try to stop some of the incoming damage. Oh, Whirlwind push-up is so bad. I think I have to convoy. Find an air sup. Type 94 at this point would also be quite good. Because this also means that he just kills anything for free with that surprise attack in hand. Now, what I'm gonna do is flood the board and hopefully buy myself enough time. Like, I could Monty. Like, I could have done Swordfish, Aichi, Monty. But that doesn't really buy me time. He's just gonna go face. So, that play seems terrible. What if I have an Empire Strikes? Whatever. Well, we have the Monty, is what we have. Now, I can air sup the Whirlwind and get down a Sonia. That seems much weaker than just drawing. And finally, Empire Strikes. I'm going to hold off on the air sup for now, because we could do something like a Shiden. I feel like I'm about to die to, like, Rally or some nonsense. Mito. So my thought process is I want to get a Swordfish down, even if it dies to... Or sorry, even if it gets pinned by Warble, I want to get the Swordfish down, 1, for the extra damage, and 2, reduce the chance that Akita hits face. Because I'm already taking and Akita hits face. That's just really frustrating. I lost a game earlier today to a 1 in 20 Akita hit. Oh, sorry, not a 1 in 20. A 20% chance, a 1 in 4 Akita hit. And a Rado bombing raid, desperate measures. Sure. That is incredible. That guy threw so hard. I mean, it's not like he had bombing raid desperate measures in hand, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna set up a cheeky lethal. Like, that required top decking so much, and it lost immediately to so much. That is an incredibly frustrating loss. And I think... Do I put in a research? It's so slow. I mean... I don't know, 2 draw is so good, though. Okay, I'm gonna put in a research. There's so much Jaguar on ladder right now. I'm gonna save those changes, check what the damage was to that. I think that guy was... Was that? 2938. That guy was most certainly not top 8, because that's a minus 21. Alrighty, back to the grind. 39 points off. Let's keep going. Okay. I think we just played against this guy, right? 3291 on US. Yes, they are the weird front line with the batteries and the Awoken Giants. And I can't mulligan. Great. Well, hopefully the game restarts quick enough. In the meantime, you get to see, I suppose it's the Kards background. So yeah, this is a bug that's been happening to a lot of people recently. If this happens to you, just try to restart the game as quickly as possible. If you get back in time, you can still complete your mulligan. And then, I mean, if you can't, there's actually... Oh my goodness. What is going on? If you can't, there's actually the possibility that... Oh yeah, there's no way I got back in time. My Cards is, like, completely frozen. Cards has stopped responding, so not only will I miss my mulligan, I might miss the first turn. Oh, here we go. And Alright, so we did miss the mulligan. Looks like he passed on one, though. Which is quite odd, actually, to be completely honest. Is he going to gunship this? Maybe he also got the bug and can't play cards or something. That... I don't know how terrible your hand has to be for that to be the correct play. It genuinely seems impossible. I mean, I don't know, going for a play that just hard loses to Albacore on turn 2 seems wrong. Now, we could airsup that to get a little bit more damage face, keep health on the Gladiator. I'm going to keep the airsup because if his hand is slow, that means he's going to have, like, Whirlwinds, 5th Rangers. I gotta remember that this guy has a Woken Giant. Like, I still think it's reasonable to push up, because why are you keeping a Woken Giant against air? But, I mean, you know. And, first game with research in the deck, and I already wish it was a Convoy. I mean, surely if you have a Greyhound, you push up. If you have 35T, you play it. I mean, I don't think I really have to worry about ultra-ing anything here, so I think I'm just going to draw. And, oh, I wish I could play this. I mean, I think I do play it, because even if he has Whirlwind, Whirlwind immediately eats an air superiority. And then I can... That's basically his entire turn doing that. And again, he would have played a 35T, which is why he top decks another 35T. And suddenly, I mean, if he had Devils, he would have played it last turn. Again, Greyhound, he would have played it, so what does he have? He has the 99th. But that is going to... Oh, the Shelling draw. It's one credit away from greatness here. We're just going to remove the whole board, to be completely honest. And then next turn, hopefully we can Shelling. If he doesn't have any Blitz units, that's going to be really good. That top deck 35T is just so big. Top deck 5th Rangers is quite good for him. I mean, I have, like, no intention of attacking with this next turn. I'm essentially throwing it out for him to play, like, Whirlwind instead of Sherman here. I think we're Lend-Leasing here every turn. Or every time. He's going to Sherman, Devils. And, I mean, that's tempting. I mean, I think we have to Lend-Lease. Empire Strikes, now we just need Bombers. Bombers? Okay. I mean, not the cheapest Bombers. The Albacore is quite good. Kitty Hawk's certainly not a bad card by any means. This is the second 22nd. And we can do it. That is definitely something I was hoping to avoid. And what do we do now? I mean, I think I killed the one in the front line just because the other one has one more health, but the operation cost I feel like is so much more important at this point. And could play down targeting Devils, could target... I mean, what I really want to do is hold up the Ultra, but I think if I hold up the Ultra, he's not going to play an Order, because he doesn't really have a reason to play an Order if I hold up Ultra. And then also, I'm not really going to have a unit left over for, yep, Eat the Stars. And things are pretty quickly coming. apart, I can Wellington kill 22nd. I can Wellington Sherman. Like Wellington Parisy kills Sherman. I think my best chance is honestly clearing his board with another bomber top deck, and hopefully he goes for like a we can do whatever blitzkrieg or something stupid. He's going to Sherman again, 99th again. And well, we have the 4 damage. I mean, we basically have to go for it. Yeah, 100% a card deeper in the deck. If I had had the convoy instead of the research, what a different game this would be. It has island hopping. Went face? Are you insane? Okay, well, we still might win the game. If this guy keeps trolling. Why would you ever go face there? I don't care if you have battery. Why would you go face there? Oh my god. Okay, like a cast draw is quite good. Another 35T. That's the last one. Okay. Also, why would you play this after attack? Whatever. Okay, so I can remove... I don't think I can get the... Heresy down. Here. So I'm just going to remove 2 of these. Maybe I should have played Spitfire, actually, instead of holding up the Ultra. I think probably holding up the Ultra was bait, just getting down to 6-5. I think this was a mistake. Yeah, there's the half-track. There's the Hellcat. Half-track's the wrong one. There's the Whirlwind. Empire Strikes. Still doable. And technically not dead. I mean, we're playing for the... we are like 100% playing for the Empire Strikes top deck. So do I even send back half-track? So he's down basically, like, I'm assuming this guy makes cuts because he's running a Woken Giants and double 22nd. So I'm assuming he doesn't run Greyhounds, which means he only has 2 Blitz tanks left in the deck, and that's one of them. Okay, he's still going for the line that loses to... Well, no, it doesn't actually lose to Empire Strikes anymore. I needed HMS Empire Strikes, and that is not what I have. Man, I just should have gone down that Spitfire on that turn. I held up Ultra, but holy crap, this guy's draws were just phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely nothing I could do. That's very frustrating. I mean, yeah, this is just losing to players who make so many mistakes, and there's just literally nothing you can do. That's minus 20, so that's minus 41. Yeah, I'll probably stop the video there. Might play a few more games, maybe off camera if I get high again. I'll start recording some wild hair action going on. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.